Ho, 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 ho. Do I feel good today? What's up, everybody? It is Friday. It's the end of the week, but we have one more big day to get to. I am the coach. I'm the driver of this train. We're here every single weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. If you watch DTL Golf this week, then you already know. We cashed a bunch of tickets just yesterday, but last night here on the show, what a day. My man AB, Howie, continues his undefeated Australian Open winning streak, plus 175. He might have been the only capper in the world that was betting against Djokovic, and we got the job done. Your boy was 1-1, hitting the golf again. 76ers decided not to show up last night, but a really good day. By the way, my man Howie Schwab is in the chat right now live. You have any questions for him, put them in there. He will answer them in real time. But without further ado, let's bring in my partner. Oh, my goodness. He is the other star of the show. And AB, last night I saw your tweet. It was check mark, check mark, check mark. We had a really good day yesterday. It felt good.
It felt phenomenal. And let me say this. Last night, it's probably 1 a.m, all right? My good friend, you've seen the hat and the gear, Randall Mims Lumber. You see it all the time. He's texting me, all right, 1 a.m, that Howie is on fire with the Australian Open, just crushing these picks. And he goes, look, the kid is just hammering Djokovic. And I pull it up, and that's when I text you. And I was like, yeah. Howie, I don't know who is texting and calling Howie, but I want them to call and text me because Howie is just banging out winners left and right, man.
Man, we love what he is putting into it. I see so many different ideas in the chat today. We'll get to all those. We'll get to the cruise play of the day. We'll get to the NFL talk. But the reason we put all the picks, AB, at the bottom is sometimes we have to pivot. And sometimes we got to move things around, but they're not losing the picks at all. So we've got 2, hopefully, new cappers coming on the show today. And people have been screaming for years, give me more combat sports, give me more boxing. Can we do that today, AB? Can we do that?
I believe we can, sir.
All right. I will see you in a second because it is now time for the very first edition, the very first time it's going to be on Fridays for one big fight. Oh, it's got a vibe. It's got a vibe. Look who it is, ladies and gentlemen. Are you kidding me right now? He is the voice of boxing all over the world at DAZN. And this weekend, there's a big one in Phoenix. My man, Todd Grisham. Todd, first and foremost, the fact that you're now a member of the crew, I am honored, humbled. Good morning, sir. Welcome for the first time.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for having me on. I know you've been begging me to come on for years. Until you start your own channel, until you branch out on your own, then I'm coming on the show, and voila, here I am as advertised.
My man Chad says, not the Grish. What? I told you guys from the start we're having all the biggest stars. Now, if you're in the chat and you don't know who my man is, and by the way, that opening, it's going to have voices all over it by next week. Sometimes we just don't have enough time. But you are in Phoenix, and we're going to get to that fight. But every Friday, or most Fridays, you're going to come on and discuss whatever's going on in the boxing world or the combat world, because you are also the voice of Glory Kickboxing as well. And there are odds on everything. So have you called any big fights, I don't know, in the last 2 or 3 weeks anywhere? I don't know.
I've been to Saudi Arabia, the heavyweight championship of the world, super middleweight champion. I've called Canelo in Mexico. Hey, I'm blessed. Don't get me wrong. I've been able to call the biggest fights in the world. I've worked for UFC, WWE, ESPN, DAZN, boxing. The list goes on and on. I've been fired from everywhere, brother. I've been canned from everywhere. But I found a home with boxing, and it's been my childhood love forever. I'm calling the biggest fights in the world. I'm living the dream, just like you. We had our time in WWE, did that, moved on to the next thing, and you found your home, and I found my home, and we're both having the times of our lives. I'm glad we're meshing up here. Thanks for having me on. I was telling AB earlier before the show started, like, boxing's kind of in that area where it's like, if there's a big fight, Max Kellerman made this example. Like, I don't care if you got the NFL playoffs on, you got the World Series on this TV, you got this and this and this. But if you got 2 big guys fighting outside on the street corner out your window, what are you going to be watching? You know what I mean? Everybody wants to see the fight. because it's so what the hell's going to happen, So there's always one big fight somewhere in the world that I think your viewers are going to love to tune into and maybe win a little money while they're watching.
Oh, I love the sound of that. Cashing with the Grish. Now, before we get to the one big fight, also the heavyweights have kind of taken over, but also a lot of people don't realize that United States and Las Vegas, that's not where all the biggest fights are taking place now. Why has Saudi Arabia become kind of the home of the big fight?
Well, I can just do it with, I don't need to tell you, I can just do it with this little thing right here. What's this mean? It's the money, kid, the money, kid. That's why Vegas was, Vegas was cool, but why did they go there? Because they can make the most money there. Well, now they can make the most money in Saudi Arabia. And His Excellency, Turki Al-Sheikh, is a fanatical boxing fan. He's like, I want to see Francis Ngannou fight Tyson Fury. And he just makes it happen. He throws money at it. And he's making these big fights happen. And that's been the one thing that's killed boxing over the years. Inactivity of the champions. There's too many belts, and guys avoid each other. And you can't really blame them because you're like, why would I fight a guy that I have a 40% chance of losing when I could fight three guys that only have a 10% chance of losing and make way more money? So that's been kind of the, where boxing shoots itself in the foot. Tom Brady, he'd rather play against the Cleveland Browns every week if he could choose. He doesn't want to play the best teams in the NFL if he could choose. So that's why boxing's been hurting. But money is the great equalizer. You pay somebody enough money, they'll go in there and fight anybody. So that's what's been great in Saudi Arabia. I had there next week for Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. I'm sure I'll come on the show for that one from Saudi Arabia. The first undisputed heavyweight championship this century, over 25 years, since Lennox Lewis won all the belts. So that's the big.
You'll be on the call. You'll be on the call.
I'll be there, baby.
Damn, Fury next week. All right, well, let's focus on today because we have a big one in Phoenix. It's going to be live on DAZN, and it's two big-time names. We got a guy, Sam Ryder. The last time he fought, it was a little-known guy named Canelo Alvarez. Then Jaime Munguia. He just had an incredible fight at the end of 2023. What are we looking at with this one this weekend?
Not an incredible fight for Jaime Munguia. It was the fight of the year. So, the first fight that I'm on here talking to you guys about, I got to bring the heat. And let me tell you, I think this might be fight of the year. The good thing about Jaime Munguia and the bad thing about Jaime Munguia is his activity. The guy throws 60 punches around, coach. Do the math. 3-minute rounds. That's a punch every 3 seconds. So he will come at you nonstop. He's one of those Mexican warriors that just doesn't care if he gets hurt. But that's the problem. When you throw that many punches, you can't play defense. Your hands are out here. Your face is wide open. And he takes so many punches. John Ryder's a big, strong English guy. Went the distance with Canelo despite a broken nose and blood pouring out of his face. It's going to be an all-action battle. Munguia is the favorite to win, but he takes so many punches, just like with a rock. You hit it with a hammer, it doesn't break until one time, boop, it breaks in half. Will that one hammer happen tomorrow night in Phoenix? I don't know, but, man, it's going to be a great fight.
All right. Well, here's the thing. We can discuss it because we're not just a pick show. We love the discussion, but we got to have a pick. Where are you headed?
Well, coming out of the gate, I could easily say, oh, let's take this for minus 300 or this for minus 450. Come on. That's not what we're here to do. I like the under 10.5. I think it's plus 160. Munguia is so big and strong. And listen, he wants to fight Canelo next. He's 42-0. All right. He's never lost. Canelo is the fight he wants. Two Mexicans hashing it out, but he's got to beat John Ryder, and he has to look good doing it. Canelo couldn't stop John Ryder. Jaime Munguia is going to do his best to do it. So he's going to be going for the knockout from the opening bell, which means he's going to be wide open, as I discussed, and Ryder might clip him. So I'm taking the under 10.5. I think this ends by KO.
All right. Chad was asking in the chat, does the fight go the distance? Chad, I think you just got your answer. Todd says, we're going under 10. All right, we got to move on, but I got one last question for you before we let you get out of here. Get ready for, I know you got a big meeting. You were in Creed 3, correct?
Come on, kid. I was the star of Creed 3. What was I in it? I was the star.
I couldn't believe it. Now, they're asking if you're going to be in Roadhouse. Are you going to be in Roadhouse?
Oh, God, man. I saw what do you think of the trailer? Connor as an actor? I don't know. He was just him. You know what I mean? He wasn't acting.
He wasn't stretching it. He wasn't stretching it.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
Patrick Swayze's my guy, bro. Patrick Swayze's my guy. So
old school.
All
right, everybody. This is the man. We call him the Grish. You have any questions all week long? You want us to talk about a fight? He'll be here every single Friday. The next time we see him on the air after tonight will be Tyson Fury and Usyk.
Ooh.
We go to the very best. All right, Grish. Have a great call this weekend. I'll talk to you next Friday. All right, bud?
Thanks for having me on. Congratulations on the new show, and let's win some money, baby.
Let's go. Let's win some money, baby. There's nobody better than the Grish. Are you kidding me? We've got the voice of boxing at DAZN doing all the big fights in the world on our crew. Let's bring AB back in. Because AB, are you kidding me right now? By the way, hit that like button. We don't go to just some regional announcer when we talk the crew. We go to the absolute very best.
The absolute very best. And let me say this, man. My seat right here, feeling warm, son. That dude, the Grish just crushed it. He is all over it, man. A pro's pro right there.
So, again, his pick is under 10.5 rounds plus 160 for this fight not to go the distance. All right, we got to pivot to what is absolutely AB, our bread and butter. And we are now 2 days away from Championship Sunday. It feels like those games happened 2 weeks ago, but there was some news yesterday. 2 big news items, in fact, and maybe a upset. But Dave Canales has been named the head coach of the Panthers, and Raheem Morris will be going to the Falcons. Let's start with Canales. Did this surprise you?
No, this feels like a Panthers move. Is it going to work? I don't know. I don't have a ton of faith, but I also don't want to be negative because these coaching hires can be really, really difficult to nail. So I'll give the benefit of the doubt here. We'll see. I've had some experience with Canales. He's a smart guy. It takes a lot in that. I'm like more putting it on the organization than him. They've got some things they need to figure out, but Canales is a smart dude, man. He knows his stuff.
And the other one, I saw Jalen Ramsey tweet yesterday, and he said, not only is this guy one of the best coaches in the league, he may be the best coach in the league, but he's got a chance before as a head coach. Maybe he just wasn't ready. Does this one surprise you that they didn't go with Bill Belichick?
So this one is fascinating because you essentially had the owner, Arthur Blank. He wanted Bill Belichick. That's exactly who he wanted. And before making that hire, people on the Falcons, kind of staff there convinced him to go with Raheem Morris. You're right. This is the second time around. The problem with Morris is that when he was the head coach of the Bucs, the locker room quit on him. Everyone.
Really? Why?
Yep. I don't know, but it was not good, right? Then again, I'll say this, and I'm not putting myself in the position of a head coach of the NFL, but just anything in life. Buddy, I've done something once for the first time and screwed it up. You guys have seen mistakes on this show before, right? Like, it happens in life.
Mm-hmm.
And the second time around, you generally have a much better idea of what you're doing. So best of luck to him. It fits. I think if you're looking more long-term, than Belichick, this is a guy to go to.
I like the fact that they didn't go with Bill Belichick. I like the fact that Pete Carroll hasn't gotten a shot either. And it's not because I don't want those guys to – I mean, they're in their 70s. They've made tons of money. It's not even about money. But I like the fact that these teams, AB, are starting to think a little bit younger. The business evolves just like the media business. I had a guy reach out to me the other day and go, Coach, I want to come and I help produce. And I said, have you ever remote produced? And he was like, well, no. I said, the business evolves. You got to be doing what we do today. It's not sitting in a room. Same thing in the NFL. So I like that we're seeing some different names and guys that maybe can relate a little bit better to the players in 2024. All right. We've got a little bit of a discussion for the games this weekend, but you know what this show is all about. And by the way, Grayson says, let's effing go. Damn, I've missed Coach and his energy. Show looks great, fellas. Fire. Thank you, Grayson. Now, we have our crew's pick of the day. AB, what are their choices today, sir?
The crew has some interesting choices. This is an interesting board for Friday. All right, so first you've got your man, all right, Dame time. Damian Lillard over 25.5 points at -120. You also got a little parlay here. This is a state of Wisconsin parlay for you.
I like
you got
it.
The Bucks money line and Wisconsin money line at +145. All right, you got the Suns tonight, -4.5, and then St. Bonaventure for a college play. And if you've seen the college basketball board for tonight, not good. It is all over the board. Yeah, so the Bonnie's there, -2.5 at -110. All options are in the chat now. Vote there, and at the end of the show, we will announce, what your selection has been.
years ago when I was trying to leave the WWE and nobody would give me a chance in real sports, I got a chance with a very small cable outlet, and they said, hey, you want to do a game at St. Bonaventure? Yeah, sounds fantastic. Now, they have a new arena now, but back then, I played in better middle school gyms than what they were playing in the Atlantic 10. By the way, John says, Coach, are we going to talk golf at all? I want to see how confident you're feeling in that Michael Pick long shot. Of course, John, we're going to get to golf a little bit later in the show. He was plus 10,000, and all of his picks, top 10, top 5, they're all in play. We'll talk about that coming up. But AB, 2 days away from Championship Sunday. And one of your specialties is always kind of anytime touchdowns. So I thought today maybe we just attack a favorite anytime touchdown and maybe our favorite quarterback prop. When you were digging in late last night, because you're a night owl, what did you find?
So first off, what I found is that you have the best prop on the board in the Jared Goff over 23.5 completions. Coach, brilliant move. Love that play. Now, for me, I'm going to go Brock Purdy, Jared Goff combined over 1.5 interceptions at plus 130. This is found at BetMGM. Love BetMGM. They always have the best options here. And let me tell you why. Because this game is going to start fast. San Francisco cannot play from behind again. They cannot do what they did against Green Bay. Same thing with the Detroit Lions. The best, Coach, they always say, all right, the best way, to be in shape is to stay in shape. And that's exactly what the Lions will want to do. Don't fall big behind San Francisco. Don't let them run up a score because that defense is too good to try to get back in the game. So I say all that to say this. One of these teams is going to be playing in a position they don't want to be. And they're going to also put up interceptions really as the game goes along. So just pay attention there. And you don't have to have like 1-and-1 quarterback. It doesn't have to be like Purdy throws a pick and Goff throws a pick. Could be Purdy throws 2. Could be Goff throws 2. Could be Goff throws 7. Does not matter. All right. Just over 1.5 between these two guys. And then, yeah, Sam Laporta, you see it right there. Like, I know we're going to get to anytime touchdown, but I mean, you see it. We'll break him down more, but I'm rolling with my guy. Iowa, dude, Iowa shows up every week.
I love first and foremost the interceptions because now sportsbooks are, if you do the work, and I always ask you all the time, do you want to do the work? And if you do the work, you find this instead of both guys to throw a touchdown, and you're still getting plus money. So really, really, really smart. I want your take on my 2 quarterback picks first. Because Brock Purdy, when I saw this number, I was actually shocked. It's almost like the sports books are saying this is going to be a shootout. The Lions are going to be in it the entire game because if they didn't think that, AB, this number would be 250 or below. So for me, I'm willing to bet that if the 49ers do what they do, then it's going to be second half. He may have $150, $160 in the first half, but the second half is going to be a lot of running, a lot of quick calls to the outside, and I don't think he's going to get anywhere near 300 unless it's that shootout. Then the other one, you love the Goff completions. The reason I went with completions as opposed to attempts is I thought the attempts were really, really high. And I looked at the last few games, and how they move the ball is 5 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards. They don't do a lot of down the field. So I think the completions are a much smarter play because if they are in the game and you start to be a little conservative late in the fourth quarter, you can still complete those 3 and 4 yard passes, and it doesn't matter. But I like that a lot better. Why do you like the completions? And what do you think about my Brock Purdy pick?
Yeah, so look, first on Brock Purdy, if he's throwing over 280 pass yards, go ahead and bet the Lions with the spread because that is not how San Francisco wants and needs to win this game. I love that play. I think that they're going to get back to exactly what their bread and butter is, running the damn football and playing defense. That's what San Francisco does, and they're 1 game away from the Super Bowl. And trust me, Kyle Shanahan, he says 5 words all season. I guarantee you he's been saying these inside that locker room and facility. Get to the Super Bowl. We're good enough to win it. And that is how they're going to do it, not by Brock Purdy throwing a ton of passing yards. Now, on the completions, Coach, I'm telling you, it's my favorite play of any bet of both games all weekend. We broke down last week, all right, the no-fly zone of the passing charts for Jared Goff, okay? They went up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, all right, does not let you run the football. You know what the 49ers defense does? They don't let you run the football. So Jared Goff is going to have to not only use his arm in this game, and like you said, 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards, very quarterback-friendly, safe plays, throwing across the middle to tight ends who catch the football. But when you can't run the ball, all right, you're going to throw it to your running backs in the short passing game as a de facto run game. Now, we saw Jahmyr Gibbs go off on the ground with one long run, but sustained, just gashing the defense on the ground wasn't necessarily happening, but they will use that short passing game as that run game to keep San Francisco's defense honest. So I absolutely love it. In any scenario game script, if Detroit is up, they throw the football. If they're behind, they're damn sure throwing the football. And Jared Goff is super accurate. So yeah, man.
And that will help our Brock Purdy under as well. By the way, Taylor says, Coach, with an under, Taylor, I've grown. Me and AB have grown in our old age here. Yes, yep. I have learned that there are way more ways for, Big Cheesy, you know that's coming. By the way, next week, our merch store will be live, and you guys will have a chance to buy anything that you want live next week. Can't wait to promote that. Now, my anytime touchdowns, AB, and you know my philosophy in the NFL playoffs. I only like to bet on stars. You're rarely going to see me go, hey, this guy could have a big game today. No. In this big game, it will be the big stars. Travis Kelce, he scored twice last week. You know number 15 is looking for number 87 every single time this week they get inside the 20 or the 25. Josh Reynolds may be a little bit of a surprise, but he helped our man Phil get into the club last week because Jared Goff now is going away from Amon-Ra St. Brown and maybe Sam Laporta as well. So Josh Reynolds, I actually picked him because of the number, AB. Plus 375. That's anytime touchdown, not first touchdown. So I think number 8 could be a sneaky play this week for the Lions. Your thoughts?
I think that this is a great play, not only anytime, but a little look ahead to Sunday there when we're picking our first TDs. Dude, you might want to just jump on that as well. Reynolds is a great play, man. He can absolutely get in the end zone. And you know what? With Kelce, I mean, obviously it's Travis Kelce, but I think that you're looking at it the same way that I am in the Lions 49ers game. Quarterbacks at this point of the season, when you're in the red zone, you trust tight ends and you trust your guys. You have Travis Kelce. I have Sam Laporta. These guys get looks in the red zone because not only can they run great routes, but they generally find themselves more open in short spaces because what do? You use a linebacker on him? All right. Do you use a corner on him? It's Travis Kelce. He's huge. Good luck, man. It was like Gronk, right? Like every time in the red zone, Brady would find him because what the hell are you going to do? You don't have a tight end on defense that matches up with that size and speed, right? So I'm with you, man. Love both the plays. And your thought process on Kelce is the same as mine on Sam Laporta. Those guys get looks for a reason.
By the way, you know how much it drove me crazy last week when Kelce scored and he did the whole heart and we thought it was to Taylor Swift or his brother. He said on his podcast, which I love, by the way. I love the New Heights podcast. But he said it was to the Bills fan base. Do you believe that? I don't.
Don't believe that for a second. I've never seen the Bills fan base doing any heart signs. I've never seen him doing anything sweet. And I say that out of mad respect for the Bills Mafia. I saw those guys in Nashville, right beside Nissan Stadium is a big pedestrian walking bridge. I saw these fools lining up tables beside it and jumping off, dude. And like I say fools out of I'm a fool. And I was like, I could rock with the Bills Mafia. They get down. One guy had mustard all over him. Like, I didn't see any hearts. That was to Taylor.
That feels like an AB thing. You walk into the stadium, mustard all over you. What happened to you, sir? Well, it's just, come on. It's Sunday morning. That's what
Jack Daniels started talking.
Oh, that'd be a nice, maybe we should call a spirits company. I don't know. Potential partner of the show. Maybe we already have.
Jack Daniels located in lovely Lynchburg, Tennessee, We can give them a shout, man.
So you're saying that you could go down and do a commercial there?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And interesting note. All right. The county that Jack Daniels, founded, bought all of that. That county's a dry county.
I was in Arkansas one time for a WWE show, and we had to drive 13 miles to get alcohol. And I said, this is a lot of work. Ric Flair said, hey, this is Tuesday, so let's go. Shout out to Scott Kobe. He says, I love Scott. Both of those bets are plus money on DraftKings. So I'm assuming the ones are like minus 115. So shop around a little bit, especially for the touchdown props. They can be different prices depending on which book that you use. Yeah, AB.
Yeah, I wanted to say real quick, that just made me think of it when you brought up Scott. Last night, all right, so we drill the college basketball plays, and I don't say that like boasting us. Like, the teams just perform. Like, they just look good. We're trying to hit the AB3 on the threes, okay? Jokic plays the early game, nailed his. Steph Curry had 5 threes in the first quarter, whatever. De'Aaron Fox, we had to wait until the fourth quarter to get 2 threes, and I'm telling you, I said it out loud in my house. I was like, Big Cheesy, if you're listening, get these Kings in order. And I swear to God, right after it, bam, bam, Fox just nailed 2 of them in like 3 possessions. And I was like, Big Cheesy, you are our guy, man.
Shout out. I wish you guys knew how me and AB and everybody else, we text late at night. We do this stuff 24/7. I promise you, when I say we grind for you, damn it, do we grind for you. By the way, I saw an idea in the chat, and I absolutely love it. Starting a DTL, I don't know what you guys call it, a Discord group or something like that, where you guys discuss the picks during the day. I absolutely love that idea, and we're going to be doing more here at the show. But anything you can do to bring yourselves together, you guys know our philosophy. Knowledge is power. It's not just about the actual pick. Use the knowledge. Use it today or moving forward. All right, AB, let's get into our picks for the day. And we got a little bit of a different thing going on today. We were going to have a new capper on. He's your boy, Charles. Is it Meshell? How do you, I don't want to mispronounce his name.
Yep.
Meshell. Unfortunately, there's a lot of weather going on in the country. And so where he is located is not very good right now, and he will not be allowed. But we do have his picks. So we're going to give out his picks. And then Jacob is in the chat. And Jacob, I want you to react to these picks in the chat as I read them out, because AB, I know you're the soccer guy.
I can't even read them.
So here's what we're going to have: brand new capper, and we'll have him on whenever the weather gets up. By the way, we'll have all new members of the crew next week. We're introducing new cappers Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of next week as well. So we're growing our quote-unquote bullpen and team, but that's what we're doing. So here's what we're doing. Leverkusen, they've been great. They're playing Gladbach over 3.25 on the goals. Now, they always have one Bundesliga game every single Friday. What this means is if they score 4 combined goals, then you will win. If they score 3, then you will just lose half of your bet. That's how soccer does it. You can go quarter, half, or 3 quarters. Then both teams are scoring over 2.5. You see the number is less. So if they get to 3 and both teams score, then minus 110, you score. You see the difference. I like how Charles puts both of those up there to kind of educate and entertain. So both teams have scored, so that means 2-1. You would win that bet with Leverkusen and Gladbach. Then in La Liga, Girona has been great this year. They weren't their last game, but they've been great. Celtic Vigo and Girona, let's go over 2.5, minus 130. And then let's go to Girona team total over 1.5, plus 120, as Charles is kind of having a little synergy of that game as well. So 4 big plays from our new capper, and I can't wait to hear you guys, or for you guys to hear him talk. He's got a great personality, huh, AB? Great personality.
Oh, hey, look, let me say, man, I'm from Texas and Tennessee. My man is from the boot down there in Louisiana. Yeah, you're going to love him. Look, let me say this. I think he's too much for the internet, apparently. Like, the Wi-Fi is not ready.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll get to it. Again, and I had to remind myself, AB, this is only – I will never say we're starting over. That's not happening, because look at all the people that are here. But the relaunch and the rebrand, this is only day 10. This is only our 10th show, and we're already doing what we're doing. It's been amazing, but we can't do it without the universe. By the way, I mentioned at the top of the show about 30 minutes ago that Howie Schwab, who's been on a heater, is in the chat right now. You have any questions for him, put them into the chat. He will answer them in real time. You are watching Driving the Line. We are passing the bottom of the hour. Howie, AB has 1 play today. He's going to the Big Ten. This was part of the crew's choices on the money line, but he likes Wisconsin -2.5. You like that?
I love it. I think it's a great play. Going up against Michigan State, got there at the house. It's going to be solid. Wisconsin is a good basketball team, ranked 13th in the country. They get the job done. Wisconsin is their athletic program, like around, is very solid. You know, like when you're going to play Wisconsin in basketball, when you're going to play them in football, you better pack up and you better be ready, especially when you're in conference play, Big Ten play. Yeah, this is a smart play by Howie, especially that number. Very good.
Hawkeye says, Howie, I love Wisconsin. Let's go. Did you see, speaking of the Hawkeyes, did you see the pictures that one of our good friends posted who did the Iowa game the other night? It was like half empty. For the Iowa men's game. They sell out for the women, but it's embarrassing how fast that men's team has fallen at Iowa and the support in a place where you have nothing else to do. Embarrassing. All right, AB, we have a little golf we got to get to. Then we'll get back to our AB3, and we'll get back to your pick, and also I have a couple of NBAs. But the golf, 60 miles from where I'm sitting right now, and there's a lot of people that have their thoughts on my picks in the chat, and I appreciate it. I'm going to go with 3 plays today because I've hit all of my head-to-heads so far this week. I love Sahith Theegala over Minwoo Lee. This was the one that, honestly, that I struggled with the most, but I went with this philosophy. Yesterday, he played the South Course. He shot 4 under on the South Course. Minwoo Lee played the North Course yesterday. So I'm going to go with the guy that less than 24 hours ago shot a 68 on the much more harder course. Minwoo Lee on Wednesday shot an even par 72 on the South Course. So that's why I went with Theegala. You can see from the odds, this is basically a toss-up according to the sports books, but I like Theegala. Then Luke List over Justin Rose. Luke List, he won this event 2 years ago. Me and my son JJ were standing about 30 yards away when he won, and it was after dark over Will Zalatoris. He loves this course. He plays well here, and yesterday Justin Rose kind of stumbled to the finish line. So I'm going to go with Luke List -110. Then Steven Jaeger over Emiliano Grillo. Steven Jaeger, he's the lead right now. He shot an 8 under yesterday. He shot a 4 under on Wednesday. It doesn't matter which course he's playing on, and I think he has the distance to just out-muscle Grillo today. So I like that -120. If you like any of those, put them into the chat. Let me know. Do you like Theegala? Do you like List? Do you like my man, what was the third one? Jaeger. So which one do you like the most? Put them in the chat. Let me know. Also, hit that like button for me. It really helps the show grow. Zach says, I played that Jaeger pick this morning. Synergy with the coach. You're damn right. All right, AB, let's get back to the NBA. Because right now, I got a little chip on my shoulder. A little chip right here.
Jay-Z.
The last 2 days, I'm hitting golf, but I can't. Last night, Sixers getting blown out by the Pacers. What is this? So you, sir, you're on point. Let's go with first your same game parlay first before the AB3.
Yep. So we're going to go with Kevin Durant here over 1.5 3-pointers. Okay. And both teams to score 113 points or more. This is a tight spread. I don't want to mess around with picking who's going to cover, who's even going to win. But I do know that both teams are going to score 113 points or more in this matchup. And Kevin Durant, we're going to take that number down, all right, from needing 4 threes to needing 2 threes. Played at -120. Let's just go out and get the win and get out of there.
Did you see what Stephen A. Smith said about Kevin Durant? He did like the classic. He did. I call it the classic Stephen A., where he goes, I love me some Kevin Durant. I love me some KD. All-time great player. All-time great dude. Good brother. But because KD was upset that he wasn't in the GOAT conversation. And I'm like, I did first take, I don't know, 40 times in my career at ESPN. And I love Stephen A. But at some point, you don't need to butter the guy up. You just need to say what you're going to say. It'd be like me. I love me some AB. Oh, I love Allan Bell. But no, AB, it's classic Stephen A. He wants everybody to love him, but then he'll do the criticism. You know what I mean?
And it's like if you're having a conversation about like the GOAT list, it's okay to say no, he's not in there. I'll say it right now. KD, you're not in there. Like, I don't know what you're thinking at all, but you're not in that conversation whatsoever. I love you, dude. You're great. The Slim Reaper, awesome nickname. But dude, the GOAT conversation? You're not. Also, in the chat, real quick, I do want to say this is why we always say that this crew is the best in the game, and it's not even damn close. All right, so you've got guys like Glenn Gipper. You have breaking down that you can take. Robert Ditson says it best, right? Like you could take these KD threes and you can do different boosts. You can look at different guys' numbers, Grayson Allen threes. Absolutely. That's exactly what this show is this is a way that I found it, and you can write it. And there are other ways to do it too. And that is exactly how we want to get down. And trust me, I'm going to play these too. I like it with Grayson Allen on threes. I like it other ways. So yeah. Smart. The crew is so much better than any other chat I've ever seen on any other betting show.
It's not even close. It's not even close. And I think some people think we say that just so we can get more viewers. No, when what we believe our philosophy, AB, and I love the fact that we can now do it our way, the right way. But a lot of shows think that the people who watch are below them, or that they don't have the same knowledge that you and I do just because we do this for a living. No, there's a lot of smart people out there. We're all sports fans. And if I can't learn from every single person and listen and value their opinion, then what are we doing? And that's why we have the best chat, and that's where we're going to grow organically, just like we've always done. Now, who's going to be a member of the crew? That also is going to launch in the next 7 to 10 days, and I have a feeling we're going to have some great people in there. All right, AB, let me get to mine, and then we'll do the AB3. And I really, really grinded over this first one. The Oklahoma City Thunder. They are, to me, the surprise really good team of the NBA season so far. They're going on the road to Louisiana, where our new man Charles lives, and they're playing the Pelicans tonight, and they're the underdog. But the reason I like them is I looked at all the recent games, and the Pelicans, although they have a winning record, although they played really well at times, the teams they're beating recently are not very good, and they're not playing well against really good teams. So I think the Thunder go on the road tonight and get it done. And then I have a money line parlay. The Suns, they have won 7 in a row. And they're going on the road to Indiana. The Pacers just whipped the 76ers' tail last night. And thank you to the chat. Toby was a late scratch, but I'm still going to take the L. But AB, when I put the Suns in Indiana, who just scored 134 last night against Philadelphia, and then I have the Bucks on the money line. They're playing the Cavs for the second game in a row. That's the new kind of NBA scheduling that they do. And I think the Bucks showed us 2 days ago that they're motivated. They've got a new head coach, and I think they want to show the entire world, hey, we're putting a foot in the sand, and we're moving forward as a dominant team in the East. So you put those two money lines together, take the spreads out, and you get plus 131. Your thoughts on either one, sir?
Yeah, look, I like it, and we just, spoke about it in regards to the Kevin Durant play that, I like that you're going there with the Suns because it fits that parlay and it fits exactly what you were talking about. And I mean, quite frankly, look, the Pacers just had a massive game last night. They're going to do it again? I don't know about that. I like your play there.
Especially against a team like the Suns who motivated Kevin Durant. Devin Booker's playing out of his mind. They're really on a heater. So I think all those things play into that. We had a question in the chat, AB, about the soccer games, and I'm looking them up right now to make sure I'm clear. The Bundesliga is today, but
no, tomorrow. So it's Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. Apologies. It's Saturday and Sunday. All right. So that's exactly how my man was already thinking ahead, saying, "Let me get you a Saturday play, which is the first one." And I can't pronounce these teams. I don't even know what land they're from.
I got you. You.
You got it. Yeah, they're from Super Mario 3. I have no idea. But, yeah, it's on Saturday, the first one. And then Sunday is, would you say La Liga? Is that right? Spain?
Well, that's Bundesliga and then La Liga. Yeah, La Liga and Girona. Yeah. So, hey, Jacob, just do me a favor. Look at our 4 picks so we're not sitting here talking back and forth like idiots. And put in the chat when the days are and the times. Jacob's in there right now. He'll get them for us. Those 4 picks, put the times of the games into the chat for me, please. And I appreciate it.
God.
What?
I just have to say one thing.
What?
Robert brought up from a little country called Payne. Shout out, my man. If you know, you know.
You know.
Solid, bro.
Schwan50 says Girona is Sunday. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to have picks every Friday. Tay says, I miss you, Coach. Tay, I miss you too. I miss you too. So we'll have picks every single Friday, and we'll make it very clear because, again, he was supposed to be on the show. So we were scrambling a little bit, but that's what the beauty of this brand is. We pivot, and we just keep rolling. So many people will say, oh, no, we don't make excuses. We just get it out. All right, so we got all my picks out. We got Howie's picks. Charles is out there. But I need the AB3 that we cashed last night. Let's do it again.
Let's do it indeed. All right. And Matty Boy in the chat asking, what's the show's Gmail? drivingtheline@gmail.com. There you go right there. Also, AP in the chat saying that there's some negative people out there. Let me tell you this. All right. Just got done dealing with some negative people. You let them haters fall right off the side, son, and you keep it pushing. Right. That's how you do it. Don't worry about any of that. Now, all right, the AB3 plus 155. We have Luka Doncic, Trae Young, back and forth against each other. We're going to take Luka over 2.5 threes. We're going to take Trae Young over 1.5 threes. And then our man, CJ McCollum, with the Pelicans there over 2.5 threes. Put those three together, plus 155. A solid one. Not as good as the plus 240 or plus 230, whatever we had last night. But again, it's all about hitting these and moving forward, adding to our bankrolls there. So, yeah.
One more chat question, John. Coach, is round 3 and 4 all on the South Course? Absolutely correct. They only play the North Course one day, the weekend, and that's why you got to really be smart because the South Course is a lot harder. You can't just use the scores from the North Course. They're completely different. Over 2 strokes difference in the South Course and the North Course. All right, AB, we're just about time for us to go out into the world, and we can't do any more damage. But before we end the week, I do have to remind people, we will be here at noon Eastern on Sunday, not 2, noon Eastern on Sunday, because I forgot that I got to call some golf this weekend. So I'll be on the Golf Channel late on Sunday afternoon. So we'll be here at noon Eastern time, me, Howie, and AB breaking down both games on Championship Sunday. But what do the polls tell us? What is the Crew's play of the day, AB?
The Crew is going to the great state of Wisconsin, looking to get some cheese to add to their bankroll and going with the Bucks money line and Wisconsin money line. Put those two together. That is plus 145. That came in 37%.
Wow. All right. You guys know we end every single show only one way, just like the New York Stock Exchange. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the closing bell. What do we got?
Coach, I want everybody to know that we have some phenomenal betting coming up. AFC, NFC championships, the Super Bowl, March Madness, the NBA, all throughout NHL, soccer, you name it. But I want you to remember one thing, that in less than a month, ding, college baseball is back. And I assure you, I'm not saying this, we had the best college baseball betting of any show, any people on the planet. I'm not even kidding. We had a hotter run than anyone in the game. And if you think that that is going to change, it is absolutely not going to change at all. So that is coming here soon. Get yourselves ready. Start hitting fungos out there in the backyard. All right, prepare yourself. Get them spikes clean. Let's go.
That's one of the things we talked about when we were rebranding is making sure we had a capper that could do every sport. We didn't want to have a hole anymore. And you are the best college baseball capper in America. And I challenge anybody to put their record up against yours because you will bury them. But also, we're going to have a capper AB for the brand new UFL. They're combining the USFL and the XFL this spring. We'll have picks on that, yes?
Yes, we will. And we have a former player from the NFL and from the USFL that was in the trenches, starting lineup, ready to go. He hit us up and said, boys, let me take this off of your hands. We will bet every week and get down. I know exactly how all of this is going to play out. So when these spring football leagues, when it gets fired up, I assure you, we will have the best handicapper in the country in regards to that.
Our bullpen is going to be strong. It's going to be deep, and it's going to have a lot of really good players. And do not forget, in the next 30 to 45 days, we'll have the Shoot Your Shot show up and running for you aspiring handicappers out there. You're going to get a shot. I'm not saying you're going to be full-time on the Crew, but you will have a shot to show us what you can do. For those that are really good, we will run highlights right here on the show. So we're spreading our wings. But remember, this is only day 10. Only day 10. Think about what we're going to be in show 110. It's going to be phenomenal. All right, we'll see everybody Sunday at noon Eastern time right here. Subscribe to our channel. Share it, please. Always hit the like button when you come in. It really helps the show grow. And for a lot of other content, we also will have it here on the YouTube channel. And we have a great one that AB did about the different percentages on spreads and things like that. We always want to educate and entertain. But that's all the damage we can do. So pay it forward today. Be positive. Anybody in your life, pick them up. Do not keep them down. And with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Friday, Saturday, Sunday tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire level, my man Jacob in the chat. My man Charles coming through with the fire soccer picks. He'll be here all the time. My man Howie Schwab, live from dialysis, doing work in the chat, still undefeated at the Australian Open. And my partner, my guy, my homie, our 5-tool player, AB, always bringing the fire. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about. Have a great weekend from Driving the Line. Good luck.